HubLive. It's just gone 1 o'clock on a Thursday, so thanks for watching. And today I have Stuart, who is one of our SmartHub members, with us, and he will also introduce himself and tell us a little bit about what he does. We might just wait a little while for people to come and join the conversation. So Stuart, how's your week been?
Yeah, it's been good. So I was on holiday a couple of weeks ago, so I've been recovering this week and catching back up with things.
Nice. So you went back to the UK for a little bit?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, so I went back to the UK for a couple of weeks, seeing family and friends. There was a wedding, so it was a really good experience.
Excellent. Wonderful. And I guess we'll start talking a little bit about our topic for today. So again, we're covering the most important things that we need to work on when we're creating a successful business. So we started at marketing, we moved on to sales, and today we're focusing more on service delivery. So basically we're going to touch on some ways that we can use some different technology in business to actually offer really good customer service. So I just wanted to, I guess, again, let Stuart introduce himself and give us a little bit of background about how he joined the SmartHub and I guess, you know, what brought you to Rockhampton and what you do for Servian.
Sure thing. So yeah, I work for a company called Servian, and they're a data and analytics company, the largest consultancy in Australia in that space.
Yep.
They're based in Sydney, Brisbane, Melbourne, and I've been working for them just over a year now.
Okay, excellent. Wonderful. And I'd like to give a shout out to Liam and Matt who are watching. Thanks for watching, guys. And so what I guess with your experience with Servian and other roles that you've held, obviously you've got quite a tech background. So how has that obviously benefited you in the roles and what you've been able to progress and you know, be able to offer consultancy, like you're a senior consultant as well, so you've been able to offer people good information about how they can improve on the ways that they do things. So yeah, give us a little bit of background.
Yeah, sure. So I've been in this space for more than 10 years now, and so I started off in the UK running my own digital agency, and that was helping companies from the very beginning through to the end in terms of their processes and getting in front of customers and being able to sell to those customers. And yeah, so that was a really good baseline experience. And then now working for Servian, who are a much larger company, working with a lot bigger companies like the banks, the telcos and the government agencies, has given me a new insight into how to approach things when there's a lot more information and also a lot more customers involved in the transactions.
Yeah, excellent. And we actually had a lunch and learn with you not long ago. I think it was our first one for the year, January, and you shared with us some really awesome ways that you can use technology, and especially chatbots. So that was probably something that I would like to talk a little bit more about today for those people that either weren't in the room or haven't watched our live video yet, and ways that they could easily implement a chatbot into their business and integrate it into their website so that they can improve their processes of, you know, response time, also being able to maybe reach customers that they wouldn't normally pick up the phone and speak to someone, but they're comfortable chatting away on their computers and typing out their questions. So yeah, if you could maybe give us a little bit of an example or explain how that you can do that.
Yeah, sure. So we've noticed that the chat interface, so messaging, has become a really popular way for all age groups to interact with each other, but also with businesses as well. And they're expecting to be able to have a response to a question almost real time. And so that's where a chatbot type interface can really help customers to receive information, to get responses from your business for things that they want to ask, whatever time or day that may be. And so that's why we're finding the chat interface is necessary for people to implement within their businesses, so they can engage with customers wherever the customer is and whatever time or day or whatever information they need.
Yeah, excellent. So, and I guess we've become quite impatient as a society. We always want a response to something straight away. So I think it's good that a chatbot can obviously facilitate that. And even if people know that they're talking to a chatbot, they feel as though that they are getting looked after, don't they?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so one of the things that we articulate is the fact that you are chatting to a bot, and so people are up front. And if people don't want to do that, that's fine. They can go back and they can wait in the 15-minute queue. Yeah. But if they're happy to engage with the chatbot interface, then they can get the information they need a lot quicker, and so the business can keep that information up to date, and they can provide the types of questions and responses that customers are wanting, and they can do that in a way that keeps make sure the customer gets that information as early as possible.
For sure. So I remember you talking about a Google platform that you can use for free as a service to actually get started to set up a chatbot. So maybe you could just share, if people are taking notes, can actually log on and just have a bit of a play around and see if they can create one themselves.
Sure, yes. So Google provide a service called Dialogflow. So it's dialogflow.com, which allows people to create a chatbot in a very simple way. So they can go in, and within 5 minutes they can actually have a conversation with the bot that they've created. And so it's a really good way to get up and running and to experience how you might be able to do that. Either use that chatbot on your website, or you can even use it within Facebook or WhatsApp, or whatever way you're currently interacting with customers. You can integrate a chatbot into that flow.
Fantastic. And I guess too, that really sort of gives people a way to see where their customers are coming from and how they're wanting to engage too. So it's a good way to test, where they're getting their sales from, potentially, and also being able to follow up, with a conversation, with a phone call, with an email, something that is more personal, but it kind of breaks the ice a little bit, doesn't it? Do you think that people sometimes will, are more likely to actually engage with the chatbot as an initial way of reaching out to your company?
Yeah, absolutely. It's an easier way for people to engage, and there's no barriers to entry, so they can use whatever platform they're currently using to do that. But what we're finding from a business point of view is they're getting more data about their customers and the kinds of questions they're asking.
Yeah, and that's really valuable.
Absolutely. Yeah. So if you're talking to a call center agent and describing the problem, sometimes those conversations are logged. Sometimes that conversation might go into somewhere and people won't understand or know what's happened during that time. Yeah. And whereas with a chatbot, you have a full log of everything that's happened, the types of questions that people are asking, and so then you can either retrain your agents, or you can change your website to have more information about the types of things that people are asking, and that data can be presented to the business owners in a real-time way. So it's a good way of improving the data you have about the customers.
Excellent. And that's the thing you were talking about at your lunch and learn as well, that you can really train your chatbot to start responding to things more accurately based on the questions that people are asking. So that's a really valuable tool, and something that we don't always maybe even think of, that it's something people need. Becomes quite evident if it's a question that keeps getting asked. So
yeah, absolutely. You can retrain the chatbots on minute by minute basis if necessary. If things are changing that quickly, or you suddenly have an influx of a certain type of question, you can address that, and the customers will then start getting that information.
Excellent, wonderful. And is there any other sort of technology tips you could give us based on, I know that there's lots of things that you probably do that require sort of more skills and knowledge that you've obtained, but is there any sort of other simple things that you can think of that people should be using in business that might save time, or, again, provide really good customer service to their clients?
I think it's just making sure that you're engaging with customers on platforms that they're comfortable with. And so, whether that is on Facebook, whether that is on Twitter, through messaging, however that is, you need to be able to make sure that you have a presence on that platform and you're able to respond on that platform. And that might, people are changing the ways that they're engaging with businesses all the time.
Right, so you've got to keep up with it, hey?
Absolutely.
And realise, I guess, once if you are measuring your data, at least you can adjust accordingly. So if all of a sudden people are switching from Facebook over to Instagram for how to find your product, that's one thing that you can easily identify and I guess focus your time and energy and money on a different platform if that's where you're getting most of your leads from.
Absolutely, and don't put all eggs in one basket. Diversify and see what works for you, because different things work for different businesses.
Excellent. Well, thanks, Stuart. What we'll talk about now is, I guess, a little bit more about how you become involved in the SmartHub and how you first came into the space, and you've obviously, you're not from Australia originally, and you've moved over here, and we're so fortunate to have you in Rockhampton. So if you can tell us a little bit more about your experience so far at the SmartHub and how you first connected with the community.
Sure, yes, I've been in Rockhampton now for 9 months, and I was really surprised about how much of a great startup enterprises there is in the region. And I came to a GovHack, I think was the first event I got involved in the SmartHub.
Yeah, sure.
And the amount of talent and the amount of diversity in the technology space in Rockhampton was really impressive.
Awesome.
And so, yeah, straight from that point, I knew I wanted to be involved.
Yes.
And so, yeah, I'm a monthly member of the SmartHub, so that means I can use the services on an ad hoc basis when I need to. So when I'm not working from home, I can come into the SmartHub and get a bit of people time and,
That's right.
and see what other
Have
businesses are doing.
Yeah, wonderful. And we love having you here too, because you're very obviously useful with being able to answer people's questions, as well as being able to present like you have, which is really great for knowledge transfer to our other members in our wider business community. And we also have had you act as a mentor for one of our startup weekends as well. So, and ways that you can, I guess, give back to other people with experiences that you've already encountered and share, and they can learn from maybe those mistakes or things that you would do differently, or other ways that you can connect them with other people that you've come in contact with. So that's really beneficial as a member for us to be able to create that environment. And,
well, I'm learning so much from the members as well, so it definitely works both ways.
Yeah, excellent. That's what we like to hear. All the the knowledge sharing and collaboration on projects even is really cool to sort of see that happen. So yeah, excellent. And anything else you would like to share with us this afternoon, Stuart?
No, I'd just say just keep an eye on what's happening at the SmartHub, because there's always new events and things going on.
Excellent.
And
actually,
that's what I do.
That leads me into my next thing, which I'll plug before we say goodbye this afternoon. We have a really special guest doing our next Lunch and Learn presentation on Monday, which is the Chief Entrepreneur of Queensland. So we're really fortunate to have Leanne Kemp. She will be visiting us, and we've got an event that's free, so you can go onto Rockhampton Tickets, also onto our Facebook page or our website, and you can register for that, so you get lunch as well, and also get to hear from Leanne. She's going to be sharing some amazing tips on people, product and performance. So they're sort of she actually refers to herself, instead of a CEO, she refers to herself as a C3PO, which the 3 Ps stand for people, product and performance. So yeah, I'm really interested to hear from Leanne, and also be able to open up the floor and give people the opportunity to ask her questions about being in business and her experience, and the things that she really thinks people should be focusing on to succeed.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that as well, especially hearing about the wider community and what's going on in the rest of Queensland.
Exactly, yeah. Excellent. Thanks, Stuart.
Great.
Really good to chat this afternoon, and if anyone has any other questions that they want to post in the comments, we can obviously come back to you at a later time as well. So thank you for watching.
Great, thanks.
We'll see you next week.